Wow, can you believe I'm still not done welding in this trunk lip? busy. I still got one little detail left to do. Got a lot of it already welded up. Just need to go back and spot paint it in. It's looking pretty good. One thing I created is this dog leg here. Several years ago when I was first started welding this in, this was all wrecked up on the 64 Chevy that I had got the metal from. I straightened it the best I could and basically tried to recreate that contour. Since then, I have bought a better piece from an actual 63 Chevrolet that's solid and hasn't been all distorted. But the dilemma, is where to cut this thing at, to get it to where it lines up just right. I've showed this before. How do you measure that and not cut too far up here or too far back there? And the best thing that I can figure without expensive tools, plasma cutters and things like that, is to kind of make a pattern out of masking tape that will transfer over to this and work. Now, since I've made a lot of this, some of my hard points will not be the same. Like this, I don't think has the correct curve. But one thing that is a given is that the tip top of this part is the same as the tip of that. So you can see I have my masking tape stopping at that corner. And then I'll kind of fit the rest of it up. That'll give me an idea of where it goes. I will take this tape off and place it on there and show you. It's the best that I know. So now I've peeled the tape off of the dog leg from the wrecking yard and taken that piece of tape and put it the best I can in this corner with all these angles and traced around the outside of it. So now at this time I can pull that off, and that line gives me an idea of where I need to cut this car to weld that piece of metal in. Now I know I cannot go past this metal, because if I go past that line, past the line, this piece will be too short. So I kind of got to go cut with inside the line and fit it that way, and then trim it a little bit more to where it fits better. Let me get on with doing that and see how that turns out. So many angles to chop. I left myself a little tab there so I can screw it together with. Should have done the same here. I think I'm going to have to do that with my cutoff tool. Some of these angles, because I can't get to them with this chop saw. Boy, a plasma cutter would sure be nice. Just don't have one. Okay, there you go. I've got the new piece fitting in there very well. My contours are going to be really good. I only have it screwed together at this time with those familiar screws you've seen before. If I need to adjust it any more, of course I can take the screws out, drill a new hole, adjust it a little better. But I tell you what, for a first fit, I think that's working out quite well. No way could I have cut that right without doing the tape pattern. That tape pattern is the secret. And I can take and weld it a little bit there. I don't know, I think what I'll do is I'll pull this part back off and trim out the metal a little so that all my lines line up as well as that. And that way whenever I'm welding, it's end to end. Now this is doing this kind of work with no plasma cutter or anything. Just masking tape, screws, basic tools. And I'll take and after I get it lined up a little bit better, I'll weld that all in, grind the welds down, and I'll pretty much be through with this trunk lip finally. Every time I get a good start on it, something comes along and I can't finish it. I have to pull off of it, teach my girls to drive, practice or something like that, or take them somewhere, run an errand. But slowly but surely I'm building this thing. You know, I've been doing a little bit of work on friends' cars on the side. Haven't been able to do much work for them, but I haven't even been able to touch my own stuff. Like I said, I got back on the trunk lip project, I don't know, a month ago. And it looks like maybe tonight I'll be finishing it up. That way I can put my trunk weather strip in and not get exhaust fumes sucking up into my car. Because tomorrow, I hope to drive this car to Pistons and Paint in Denton, Texas. We'll see how far I get with it. I will be at Pistons and Paint tomorrow, November 11th, up in Denton, Texas. That's a real good car show. You've seen me go there before. That's like a big goal of mine. I wish I could have had more done to this car. But each year I like driving something new, and I think this is the first time I've driven this car to it. It should fit right in. I think 1963 is the cutoff point for entering a car in that show. So we just barely made it. My car is almost too new, if you can imagine that. That is going to be a lot better than this scab together piece. The contours were just not right on that. Thanks for watching. Hope to see some of y'all at Pistons and Paint tomorrow in Denton, November 11th, 2017.